Professional bull rider from Southwest Missouri is dead after a tragic accident in Denver. 25-year-old Mason.
The air inside Denver's National Western Stock Show Arena was thick with excitement. The crowd cheered, the announcers revved up the atmosphere, and Mason Lowe, a young, bold, and seasoned bull rider, prepared for what seemed like just another 8-second battle. But no one in the stands, no one behind the chutes, and not even Mason himself knew that this ride would be his last. A final chapter in a life dedicated to the dangerous, electrifying world of bull riding. This is the story of Mason Lowe, his rise from a small-town boy to a professional bull rider. Mason Lee Lowe was born on September 12, 1993, in Exeter, Missouri, a small town where farming and rodeo ran deep through the generations. Growing up in a rural environment, Mason was exposed to the rodeo culture at an early age, finding inspiration from his father and local riders who had long mastered the art of controlling unruly bulls. As a child, Mason would ride anything he could, whether it was sheep, calves, or even makeshift bulls fashioned from barrels and rope. His fearless spirit, however, would lead him far beyond the confines of Exeter's farms. By the time he entered his teenage years, Mason had dedicated himself to becoming a professional bull rider, a feat few dared to chase due to the sport's inherent danger. Yet it was that very danger that fueled his passion. The rush of adrenaline, the test of will, and the pursuit of glory called to him. As Mason's career began to flourish, his journey was not only defined by his bull riding accomplishments, but also by deep personal bonds, particularly with fellow riders and mentors who became like family. Mason's journey in the rodeo circuit began in earnest during his teens when he entered junior competitions across the Midwest. His natural talent quickly became apparent, and soon he was turning heads with his composure and technique, staying atop the most fearsome bulls and riding them with a blend of skill and audacity. By the time he reached 18, Mason had secured himself a position in the prestigious Professional Bull Riders (PBR) circuit, an achievement that placed him among the best bull riders in the world. Known for his humility and work ethic, Mason never forgot his roots. He remained grounded despite the fame that came with competing in major events and winning significant prize money. And for Mason, the rodeo was not just a career, it was a calling, a way of life passed down through generations of cowboys. As he competed in PBR events across the country, Mason established himself as one of the sport's rising stars. He earned a respectable number of wins, accumulated points, and started climbing the ranks in the bull riding world. At 25 years old, he had already achieved more than many of his peers, but he was far from done. In fact, Mason believed his best rides were still ahead of him. Bull riding involves significant risks, with riders facing unpredictable bucking bulls that can weigh over 1,500 pounds. Even with protective gear like helmets and vests, the chances of injury, such as being thrown off or trampled, remain high. Mason was known for meeting these challenges head-on. Rather than being deterred, he approached the sport with a focus on skill, control, and maintaining composure. His calm under pressure and ability to adapt during rides demonstrated his mastery of this sport. Mason's signature style combined grace and grit, hanging on with one hand while his body swung with the rhythm of the bucking bull beneath him. Fans loved watching him compete. Every ride was a testament to his incredible control, bravery, and love for the sport. It was January 15, 2019, a bitterly cold evening in Denver, Colorado. But inside the National Western Stock Show Arena, the atmosphere was on fire. The Professional Bull Riders event was in full swing, with a palpable tension in the air. The roar of the crowd filled the arena. Mason, a rising star in the sport, was among the headline riders that night, and he was set to face off against a formidable opponent, a massive bull named Hard Times. Mason had drawn Hard Times before, and though he knew the bull well, that knowledge did not diminish the animal's unpredictable nature. As Mason stood in the chutes, he recalled the last time he faced Hard Times. The bull, notorious for his unpredictable behavior, had thrown Mason off with a violent buck. This time, however, Mason felt more prepared. Mason mounted the bull, adjusting his grip on the rope while glancing at the crowd. He nodded to the chute operator, signaling he was ready. The gate swung open, and Hard Times exploded out with immense force, muscles rippling beneath his powerful frame. The crowd erupted in deafening cheers as the ride began. For the first few seconds, Mason appeared to have control, expertly shifting his weight in response to the bull's wild movements. As the ride progressed, the bull's power became overwhelming. Mason's grip faltered, and with a sudden, violent twist, he was thrown off, landing hard on the ground. Before he could scramble to safety, Hard Times turned, and in a horrifying instant, the bull crushed him with its hind legs. The arena was overwhelmed by stunned silence as medics rushed to Mason's side. Fans and riders could hardly process what they were seeing. It looked like he had it handled, and he got bucked off at the last second, said one witness. Mason's family, who had been watching from the stands, felt their hearts drop. They had always known the risks involved in the sport, but witnessing the incident unfold before their eyes was a nightmare come to life. However, the severity of the incident became clear as he was quickly transported to the hospital. Despite the best efforts of the medical team, Mason tragically passed away according to the coroner's report, as a result of blunt force trauma to his chest.
Mason Lowe suffered a fatal injury after getting bucked off of Hard Times, the bull that he was on, in the fourth section of round 2 during the PBR event that was held here.
The fatal injury occurred when the bull, Hard Times, stomped on his chest after he was thrown off during the ride. An autopsy later revealed that the impact from the bull's hind legs was so forceful that it caused immediate internal injuries, including a ruptured heart. This resulted in catastrophic internal bleeding and cardiac arrest, which proved fatal before Mason could reach the hospital. The rodeo world was shaken. Mason's passing was a tragic reminder of the extreme dangers inherent in bull riding. Fans, riders, and industry professionals mourn the loss of one of their brightest stars. The PBR organization released a heartfelt statement, paying tribute to his legacy and highlighting his contributions to the sport. The loss of Mason is devastating to us all, PBR Chief Executive Officer Sean Gleason said. Our thoughts, prayers, and deepest condolences are with his family and wife Abby. Right now, we're focusing on easing their pain and supporting them during this very difficult time. The PBR Tour announced that all riders will wear a commemorative patch in honor of Mason at the conclusion of the competition on Wednesday night. Said Gleason, "Our priorities are to Mason's family first, as we support them following his tragic passing, and then to his brothers-in-arms in Denver, who are preparing to soldier on, strap in, and compete tonight. Our entire rodeo family and every member of the stock show community is saddened by the loss of bull rider Mason Lowe," said Paul Andrews, the president and CEO of the National Western Stock Show. "Our hearts and thoughts are with the Lowe family, his fellow bull riders, and the entire PBR organization. The National Western Stock Show and the PBR will have a tribute tonight in honor of Mason." Mason, originally from Exeter, Missouri, held the 18th spot in the world rankings by PBR and had accumulated close to $10,000 in prize earnings this year, marking his 7th season as a professional bull rider. Mason was admired not only for his talent, but for his genuine personality. Known as someone who embodied the spirit of a cowboy, he was both fierce in competition and kind-hearted outside the arena. His fellow riders and friends recalled the special bond he had with them. One rider, Stormy Wing, mentioned that Mason was always ready to share a laugh or lift someone's spirits, and others pointed to his role as a mentor for younger riders like Cole Livingston, who saw him as a guiding figure from the day he turned professional. Shortly after the accident, a fundraiser was organized at the arena to support Mason's family, and a GoFundMe campaign was also launched to provide further assistance. In the days following the accident, the bull's owner made a statement clarifying that Hard Times was not at fault for the incident. "Bulls are like people. They all have their own personalities," he said. He emphasized that while Hard Times is a powerful and athletic bull, the tragic incident was an unfortunate risk inherent in the sport, but not the bull's fault. Meanwhile, officials from the Bull Riders Association confirmed that the bull, Hard Times, would remain in competition despite the tragic incident. Mason Lowe's legacy extends far beyond his successes in the bull riding arena. He was deeply admired in the rodeo community, not just for his skill, but also as a devoted husband to his wife, Abby. Their relationship, marked by mutual respect and love, was strengthened by a shared passion for the cowboy lifestyle, making them a beloved couple within the rodeo scene. After Mason's tragic passing, discussions about improving safety in bull riding resurfaced, with many calling for stricter protocols to prevent similar accidents. Abby Lowe became a prominent advocate for these changes, using her voice in public speaking engagements to push for enhanced safety measures. In Mason's memory, she also founded the Mason Lowe Memorial Fund, which supports young bull riders and raises safety awareness within the sport. Tributes poured in from across the country, with riders and fans honoring Mason at PBR events through moments of silence and dedicated performances. His friends and fellow competitors remembered him as a humble, helpful mentor to young riders, always staying true to his roots. Mason's dedication to bull riding, combined with his passion for the cowboy way of life, continues to inspire new generations. His memory is preserved not only in the rodeo world, but also through the tokens of remembrance, pieces of his gear or ribbons with his name that many now carry as a tribute to his enduring spirit and love for the sport.